Hello and welcome to This Date in History, also known as TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to date in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but many things that we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information comes from the smart device application Today in History. What happened today in history?
Historical calendar.
And the website onthisday.com for links to those sources, the music, and anything else we gather throughout the show, as well as some OMNI Coalition things. Check the description. Anyway, I am Aoxander.
And me.
And today is Thor's Day, also known as Thursday, April 28, 2022.
Started off first.
Alright, we have an intriguing day for you today. In 224, which was 1,798 years ago, the Battle of Hormozgan was fought, in which Ardashir I defeated and killed Artabanus V, effectively ending the Parthian Empire.
Ooh, nice.
Dang.
Also, 357. Emperor Constantinius II enters Rome for the first time to celebrate his victory over Magnus the Magnitius.
Magneto. Woo. Yeah, I wonder if they had some more sacrifices. You know how those Romans like to do.
It's like, yeah, celebrate. Let's kill a fucking goat. like, I was celebrate. Kill a goat.
Doing a significant time jump here into 1192, the assassination of Conrad of Montferrat, or Conrad I, then King of Jerusalem, occurred in Tyre 2 days after his title to the throne was confirmed by election. This killing was carried out by Hashishashin. That's a weird name.
Yeah, it is. Oh, Hashashian.
Hashashian. Oh, wow. So it's like assassin, but with like a really interesting lisp.
They're like assassins.
Ah.
Yeah,
Wait.
and they spell hash too.
Wait, are you serious or are you making a joke?
Look that shit up. Assassins.
Hashashian. Okay, I'm gonna look that up. Hashashian. You're right. I thought you were right. I thought you were making a joke at the same time. I couldn't tell, but yeah, Order of Assassins, or simply Assassins, were a Nizari Ismaili mysterious sect of Shah Islam who lived in the mountains of Persia and in Syria between 1090 and 1275. Yep, that's about right.
Yeah, they were assassins.
You are correct, sir. So, what else happened?
He thought I was making shit up.
I don't know. It sounds like...
That sounds made up, but it's fucking real.
Yeah, I know.
And you're fucking deadly.
Wow, yeah.
1253, Nichiren, a Japanese Buddhist monk, propounds Namu Mori Kyo for the very first time and declares it to be essence of Buddhism, in effective founding Nichiren Buddhism.
Ah, cool. In 1294, Temur, grandson of Kublai, was elected Khagan of the Mongols with the reigning title Oljetu. Then jumping on up into 1503, the Battle of Serengola was fought, in which it was noted as one of the first European battles in history won by small arms fire using gunpowder. Whoa, that's interesting.
Yes. Also, 1611, establishment of the Pontifical and Royal University of San Tomas Catholic University of the Philippines, the largest Catholic university in the world. Yeah, Filipinos are still Catholic also.
Yep. Well, you know, a lot of Hispanics are Catholic because of all the conquistadors and the Spanish Inquisition, and, you know, they just convert or die. Like, you know, a lot of Europeans were pretty much more or less the same as how a lot of Muslim people are today back then. So, Anyway, jumping on up into 1625, a combined Spanish and Portuguese fleet of 52 ships commenced the recapture of Bahia from the Dutch during the Dutch-Portuguese War. Cool.
Nice. Also, 1758, the Martians defeat the Afghans in the Battle of Atak and capture the city.
Ooh. Well, you take the next article.
Yeah. 1788, Maryland becomes the seventh state to ratify the United States Constitution.
Nice. 4 years later, in 1792, France invaded the Austrian Netherlands, which is present-day Belgium and Luxembourg. This began the French Revolutionary Wars. Interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
Never thought of a revolution taking place outside of your own borders, but okay.
1794, Sardinians, headed by Giovanni Maria Agoni, started a revolution against the Savory domination, expelling Viceroy Balbino and his official from Cagliari, the capital of the largest city of the island.
Ah. 1796, the Armistice of Cherasco was signed by Napoleon Bonaparte and Vittorio Amedeo III, King of Sardinia, expanding French territory along the Mediterranean coast. Cool.
Yeah. 1869, Chinese and Irish laborers for the Central Pacific Railroad, working on the first transcontinental railroad, laid 10 miles of track in one day. A feat which has never been matched.
I'm wondering if that's including like modern day, track laying abilities, or if it's like only within what you can do with manpower and like what they had as far as tools and machinery alone from that time period.
Manpower.
Yeah, 10 miles of track in one day. Like, man, it takes a couple hours just to walk 10 miles. That's insane, dude. Anyway, in 1881, Billy the Kid escaped from the Lincoln County Jail in Mesilla, New Mexico.
Yep.
Then 6 years later, in 1887, a week after having been arrested by the Prussian secret police, French police inspector Guillaume Chanabelle was released on order of William I, German emperor, defusing a possible war.
Yeah. Also, 1910, Frenchman Louis Paulhan wins the 1910 London to Manchester air race, the first long-distance aeroplane race in the United Kingdom.
Interesting.
That's all.
I'm just for hoo-haws, I'm gonna see how this is between London to Manchester. Okay, 211 miles. So if you're driving, that's almost a 4-hour trip, with present traffic and stuff included. Anyway, in 1923, Wembley Stadium was opened, named initially as the Empire Stadium. And then 7 years after that, in 1930, the Independence producers hosted the first night game in the history of organized baseball in Independence, Kansas.
Nice.
Dang.
A good old first of baseball.
Yeah.
1941, the USA massacred nearly 200 Serbs in the village of Guidovac, the first massacre of their genocidal campaign against Serbs of the independent state of Croatia. Holy shit.
Not good. 3 years later, 1944, during World War II, 9 German E-boats attacked U.S. and U.K. units during Exercise Tiger, the rehearsal for the Normandy landings, causing the deaths of 946. I remember hearing something about that. It was like a complete fluke. They're just like, oh, there's things out here, blow it up. What was a German E-boat? Okay. E-boat was the Western Allies' designation for the fast attack craft of the Kriegsmarine during World War II. E-boat could refer to a patrol craft from an armored motorboat to a large torpedo boat. So I think like interception boat or something, whatever E-boat stands for. It's not telling me that, but I'm going to add that link to the underbar, and as I do, why don't you educate the good viewers what happened in 1945?
Yes, I will. In 1945, Benito Mussolini and his mistress Clara Pedetti are shot dead by Walter Ardosio and members of the Italian resistance movement. The death of Benito Mussolini.
So falls the inventor of fascism. He inspired Adolf Hitler, you know. Like, Hitler idolized this guy, and then perfected it. Also in 1945, during the Holocaust, Nazi Germany carried out its final use of gas chambers to execute 33 Upper Austrian socialists and communist leaders in Mauthausen concentration camp. Now, you know, when it comes to like all the gas stuff, yes, it happened, but not nearly to the extent that a lot of people believe or think they know. Like there's in a lot of these concentration camps, there's very few, if any, between all of them. There's like what, total of 3 gas chambers, and they weren't even like these giant things for hundreds of people. They were only for like 12 people at a time or something. It's still awful, but a lot of things about the Holocaust, though horrible, has unfortunately been embellished more and more and more throughout the years since the actual event, and now it's just such an inflated balloon of what it actually was that it's kind of tragic, you know, in its own way. It's such a, like, yeah. Anyway, what happened in 1947?
In 1947, Thor Heyerdahl and 5 crewmates set out of Peru on the Kon-Tiki to demonstrate that Peruvian natives could have settled Polynesia.
Yeah, there's a lot of speculation when it comes to island nations and everything. Like, how did people get there? It's like, you know, you think about Easter Island, like the Rabanui or something. That was their name. Who created the Moai and everything? They were there for multiple hundreds of years, and it's theorized that they were there, you know, long before, you know, any possible way for people to get there. So how did they get there? Anyway, in 1948, Igor Stravinsky conducted the premiere of his American ballet, Orpheus, at the New York City Center.
Yeah. Also, 1949, the Hukballo are accused of assassinating former First Lady of the Philippines, Aurora Quezon, while she was en route to dedicate a hospital in memory of her late husband. Her daughter and 10 others are also killed.
Jeez, man. That's awful. 3 years later, Dwight D. Eisenhower resigned as Supreme Allied Commander of NATO in order to campaign in the 1952 United States presidential election.
Jesus. Also in 1952, the Treaty of San Francisco comes into effect, restoring Japanese sovereignty and ending its state of war with most of the allies of World War II.
Dang, it took them 7 years. Also during 1952, during the Sino-Japanese Peace Treaty, or the Treaty of Taipei, was signed in Taipei, Taiwan, between Japan and the Republic of China to officially end the Second Sino-Japanese War. So yeah, long after, you know, we were done with World War II, you know, the Asians were still fighting each other.
Yeah. Also, 1965, the United States occupation of the Dominican Republic, American troops land in the Dominican Republic to forestall establishment of communist dictatorship to evacuate U.S. Army troops.
1967, just 2 years after that, during the Vietnam conflict, boxer Muhammad Ali refuses his induction to the United States Army and was subsequently stripped of his championship and license.
Yep.
Dang. Lucky he didn't go to jail, you know.
Oh, he did.
Oh.
I think he did some jail time.
Ah. Well, damn. What happened in 1969?
1969, Charles de Gaulle resigns as president of France.
Oh man, he was great. That guy was a bamf. Oh, what happened the next year?
1970, Vietnam War, U.S. President Richard Nixon formally authorized the American combat troops to take part in the Cambodian campaign.
Yeah, Cambodia was not really part of the conflict, but Viet Cong and VA were using, the Ho Chi Minh Trail that went right through Cambodia, and politics interrupted war and a whole bunch of jumble mess. But looks like they finally overcame that. 3 years later, in 1973, The Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd, recorded in Abbey Road Studios, went to number 1 on the U.S. Billboard chart, beginning a record-breaking 741-week chart run. The number 1 for 748 weeks?
Yep.
How many years is that? Hold on a second. How many weeks in a year? Well, you know what? I can do this. 365 divided by 7. Why is this not working? 300. Okay. That's why. 65 divided by 7 equals 0. What? Hold on a second. 365 divided by 7. Okay, there we go. 52. So 52. What does this say? 741. So 741 divided by 52. 741 divided by 52 equals 14 and a quarter years, roughly. 14 years where it stayed. That is insane. That can't be right. That cannot be right. But anyway, what happened in 1975?
1975, General Cal Van Vien, chief of the South Vietnamese military, departs for the U.S. as North Vietnamese army closing on victory.
Yeah. 2 years later, in 1977, the Red Army faction trial ended with Andreas Badar, Gudrun Enslin, and Jane Carl Rusby found guilty of 4 counts of murder and more than 30 counts of attempted murder. Wow. Those guys are going away forever.
Yes. Also, in 1978, the president of Afghanistan, Mohammed Daru Khan, is overthrown and assassinated in a coup led by pro-communist rebels.
Jeez. Moving on up into 1986, high levels of radiation resulting from the Chernobyl disaster were detected at a nuclear power plant in Sweden, leading Soviet authorities to publicly announce the accident. So up until this time, it's already been 2 days since the event occurred. And up until now, nobody in the world even knew that it happened. That's terrifying.
Yep. Also, 1988, near Maui, Hawaii, flight attendant Clara Bell C.B. Lanson is blown out of Aloha Airlines Flight 243, a Boeing 737, and falls to her death when the apparent plane's fuselage rips open in mid-flight. Oh yeah, that's horrible. That's
terrifying. Good lord.
Yeah, the fuselage opens, rips open, and bam, she flies out.
It's like peels back like a tunic, like an anchovy can lid. Like.
Yep, and he just pulled out.
In 1994, former Central Intelligence Agency counterintelligence officer and analyst Aldrich Ames pled guilty to giving U.S. secrets to the Soviet Union and later Russia. Damn spies.
Damn. 1996, Port Arthur massacre. Tasmanian gunman Martin Bryant opens fire at the Broad Arrow Cafe in Port Arthur, Tasmania, killing 35 people and wounding 23 others.
Good
This
lord.
person's the reason why they have gun control now. There.
Yeah, sounds like a false flag attack to me.
Yeah, he's a fucked up individual.
Gun control never works. All you do is make it difficult, if not impossible, for the average people to get guns. Okay, well, the criminals, they ain't gonna follow laws. They're gonna get those guns, whether illegal or illegal. They don't give a shit. Gun-free zone. Stupid. Just stupid. Why don't you take the next 2 articles here? Give you some speaking time.
1996 Whitewater controversy. President Bill Clinton gives a 41 and a 42 hour, or 41 and a half, so 4.5 hour videotape testimony in his defense. And 2004, CBS News released evidence of the Abu Ghraib torture and prisoner abuse. The photographs show rape and abuse from American troops over Iraqi detainees.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was horrible.
Yeah, that's awful. Before we get into bursts and deaths here, any articles grab your attention?
2004, 1996, Chernobyl, Richard Nixon with Cambodia campaign.
The Dark Side of the Moon.
Yep, Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh, what happened to Muhammad Ali?
Yep.
Yep.
Which I support him with that.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's a hard call to pull. You know, it's a hard judgment, but you know, when it comes to drafting and everything, like pulling people against their will, like, is it not bad enough that they spend our taxpayer dollars without our consent, with on things that we don't agree with? Now you're forcing people. Like, what are we, Russia? You know, come on. But then again, there's no freedoms in this country. Anyway, yeah, there's like quite a few other things, like that training exercise, Tiger, that was going on during World War II. Oh, Benito Mussolini getting killed, of course. Why did we almost forget that?
I said Death Mussolini.
Oh yeah, okay. Anyway, let's get into bursts and deaths here. Why don't you start us off?
Yeah. 32 Ortho, Roman Emperor.
Doing one hell of a time jump here. Into 1402, we have Nizhualcoyotl, an Al-Huan philosopher, warrior, poet, and ruler. What? God, these words. The Arcolala were a Mesoamerican people who arrived in the Valley of Mexico in or around the year 1200 CE or AD. The Alacula were a sister culture of the Aztecs, as well as the Tepenac, Chalca, Xochimilca, and others. All right.
1604, George Jansen Rapelli, Dutch settler and colonial North American.
1758, we have James Monroe. He was an American soldier, lawyer, and politician who is the 5th President of the United States of America. Born on this date. Happy birthday.
1889, Antonio de Oliveira Salazar, Portuguese economist and politician who was the 100th Prime Minister of Portugal.
In 1901, we have Hyla Bristow Stallard, was an English runner and surgeon.
1916, Federico Lamborghini, Italian businessman who created Lamborghini.
Cool. 1924, we have Kenneth Kaunda, a Zambian educator and politician who is the 1st president of Zambia.
1926, Bill Blackbeard, U.S. historian and an author.
Sounds like a pirate. Wonder if he wrote pirate stories. Also in 1926, we have Harper Lee, a U.S. novelist.
In 1937, Saddam Hussein, Iraqi general and politician who was the 1st president of Iraq.
I think it was actually 5th. F-I-F-T. Yeah, I don't know why I wrote it first. It was actually 5th, sorry.
Well, 5th president of Iraq.
1944, Jean-Claude Van Kouwenberghe, a Belgian politician who is the 10th minister, 10th minister president of Wallonia.
1950, Jay Leno, U.S. comedian, talk show host, producer, and automobile enthusiast and collector.
Yep. 3 years later, in 1953, Roberto Bolaño was born on this date. He is a Chilean novelist, short story writer, poet, and essayist.
Okay, can you do that one?
I'm sorry?
Do the next one.
1954, Michael P. Jackson, a U.S. politician who is the third Deputy Secretary of Homeland Security.
Okay. Oh. Wait, you did Michael P. Jackson, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna do these two.
Okay.
1954, Vic Soto, Filipino producer, singer, songwriter, comedian, and television personality. And in 1972, Joseph Francis Bruce, also known as Violent J, is U.S. rapper, Insane Clown Posse. I see people whoop.
Yep. It's funny, you already know his real name.
Yep.
V copy.
Also, 1973, George Garcia, U.S. actor and producer.
Was he the guy in Lost? Because he kind of looks like it.
That's Andy Garcia.
Oh.
I think.
Okay. Hold on a second. Lost. Fat guy. George Garcia.
Oh, okay, never mind. It's him.
It's spelled differently. It's spelled with a J instead of a G for the George. But he looks like the same one. George Garcia. He was an actor. Yeah, he was on Lost, so he was the guy on Lost. Anyway, last but not least, 1981, we have Jessica Alba, very much least, a U.S. model and actress. Didn't mean to say not least, because I don't care about Jessica Alba. Anyway, let's move on into deaths here. In the year 224, we have Artabanus IV of Parthia.
1260. Licinius Molteni, founder of the Third Order of St. Francis.
1781, that's a bit of a time jump there. We have Cornelius Harnett, an American merchant, farmer, and politician.
Damn. 1781, Cornelius Harnett, American merchant, farmer, and politician.
Yeah. Why don't you take 1865 as well?
1865, Samuel Cunard, Canadian English businessman who co-founded Cunard Line.
Oh, he founded Cunard Line.
Yep, founded Cunard Line.
1945, of course, we have Benito Mussolini, an Italian journalist, politician, and 27th Prime Minister of Italy, and the inventor of fascism. He was idoled by and inspired Adolf Hitler.
Then 1987, 78, Mohammed Dear Khan, Afghan commander and politician who was the first president of Afghanistan.
Yeah. 1992, Francis Bacon, an Irish painter.
Okay. 1996, Lester Samal, U.S. minister who founded LISI.
LISI appears to be a broadcasting corporation. Yeah, Family Broadcasting Corporation, formerly known as LISI Broadcasting, is a U.S. Christian television network. Okay.
Ooh.
2014, Frederick Schwartz died on this date. He was a U.S. architect who co-designed Empty Sky. And I don't think Empty Sky is, yeah, no, it's a studio album by Elton John. What the hell? Oh, I guess he co-designed the album cover or something.
Yeah.
Interesting.
2019, Richard Lagarde, U.S. politician.
2021, we have Michael Collins, a U.S. astronaut, and that name is in my head for a reason, so I'm going to look him up real quick. Michael Collins. He flew. He was the third guy in Apollo 11. He was the guy who didn't get to go to the moon. Why can't I talk today? And oh man, you get a tragic one here.
2021, El Ricistas, Spanish comedian, the hard-laughing guy with the missing teeth. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm actually going to, let's see here. What was his name again? L. Yeah, it's this guy here. The laughing guy. I'm playing it on the video right now.
Y me acuesto en su.
Oh,
Y me llama el cocinero. Ya están aquí. No me dio la marea.
Yeah, that guy. Anyway, that concludes the show. Once again, check the description for any links that you may be interested in, which also includes
Sohin TV on Twitch.
and everything Omni Coalition, including Muffin's YouTube channel as well. For your dose of past events daily, we stream every day between 12 noon and 3 p.m. Pacific time.
Oh, 12 and 2 to 5 Central.
Yep. For all of you and all of us, I am A.O. Xander.
I am me.
And you are you. And until you see us tomorrow, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Until then, toodles. Let's go, Brandon.